Hi guys, Dave Cook here with another Retrogasm video. This week I've decided to do something really special. My favourite game, bar none, is Streets of Rage 2 on the Mega Drive. Now I've often played around with the idea of reviewing this game in video form, but then I sort of shied away from it because I thought, how could I possibly sum up how I feel about this game? You know, it's got a very special place in my heart. I own it across so many different platforms, Xbox, Steam, the Wii, PSN even, and I've actually had two copies of the original cart just in case one breaks because it's so special to me. This game, it's got a lot of fun memories attached. Do you know, 2 years ago I tried to sort of beat the world record high score. I became quite close, perhaps maybe 60,000 points away from the top, but I just simply couldn't squeeze any more points out of my perfect runs, so I just put that on the back burner for now. So I thought, how could I possibly do this game justice without actually reviewing it or having to offer up some sort of appraisal, because to me it's too big a task. I don't think I could put it into words just how I feel about it. So I thought instead of doing a video review, I would do a let's play. But instead of just simply playing through it and sort of reappraising it all, I decided to do a video where I play through it on hard mode, 3 lives, just the sort of standard settings, and to show off some of the tricks I've learned over the years, because there's a lot of ways you can actually glitch this game, just like the original Pac-Man, where the ghost AI is actually dependent on where Pac-Man is. So, example, you take a right turn, all the ghosts turn left. There's so many little ways you can manipulate the enemies, and some of the frames between moves can be glitched to work in your favour. For example, there's like infinite hit combos, sort of a stun punch manoeuvre that the enemies can't break out of. So I thought I'd just dispense some of the knowledge I've learned over the years, and maybe to try and help people, I don't know, try and get more out of their experience as well. So yeah, it's the full game, full run, no continues on hard mode. A really good run, actually. It's a high score run for sure. So yeah, I mean, without further ado, let's check it out. And once again, thank you for watching. If you have any memories of your own of this game, please do share them with me in the comment box. I love talking about this game. I could do it all day. So yeah, this is Streets of Rage 2, and thank you again for watching.
Okay, so as I mentioned, the rules, well, the sort of parameters I'm going for are hard mode, 3 starting lives, and yeah, so I'm going for high scores. I always play as Axel. He's my favourite. He's got great reach, good speed, really good crowd control moves as well. You'll notice in this corner there's a hidden life behind that bin, so always grab that when you start. Now, these guys are your fodder, the Galcias. They're really simple. Always make sure, to smash everything open. You'll find some food, maybe weapons, money bags, gold bars as well for your score. They really help to max out. Now, what can I say about these guys? These guys are the signals. They'll throw you, slide kick you, backhand you. They're quite easy to defeat, actually. One thing I should mention as well, a lot of these enemies will try and attack you when they're parallel with you. It's a really good way to manipulate them, actually. Like these guys will try and slide kick you if they're standing directly parallel to you. So try not to stand right in front of an enemy if you can help it. If you want to go for a grab, you can sort of walk diagonally into someone. It's probably the best way to grab them without being hurt. And this move I'm doing here is called the Grand Upper. And that is like a really good move for breaking people out of their special moves. There's a few bosses who will try and rush you with special attacks. There's an enemy later on called Zamza. He looks a lot like Blanca from Street Fighter rather. And pretty much every one of his moves can be broken with the Grand Upper. It's really, really effective. I mean, and if you get really close with it, you can hit people multiple times rather than just once. So whenever you pick up a weapon as well, you can throw it by hitting jump and punch at the same time. It's really good for getting people at range or sort of knocking tougher enemies back a bit while you deal with the rest of the crowd. And that kick I did there it's really good actually because Axel's got really good range. It's a really good move for hitting people before they get close enough to hit you. And the way you do it is basically you hold down punch for a few seconds. I think it's like 3 seconds, and then you let go, and then he does the kick. One of the things about this game is that there are so many moves. When you consider that the Mega Drive control pad only had 3 face buttons, the command list for this game is actually massive. There's so many different things you can do, and you learn them all over time. So that throw as well is really good for crowd control. You can pretty much hurl people into big packs of other guys, and you just, you know, chip down their health really significantly. And that kick I did there, whenever you face those dudes there, these guys, Donovans, if you just stand on the spot and do that flying kick, they can't hit you at all. Like, their big thing is that when you try to fly kick them, they will uppercut you. So never fly kick them unless you're doing it on the spot. If you do it on the spot, they kind of get stuck in this weird loop where they keep on uppercutting and they can't hit you. So if you really want to dish out some damage on these guys, you just do that kick, and that will break them out. There's nothing they can do to stop you. But never try and fly kick them directly onto their head. It won't work. This guy Jack, he's a knife user. He sort of produces these blades. If you sort of give him enough room, he'll chuck one. He'll either take one out and throw it at you, or just rush you and try and stab you with it. So again, the grand upper is really good for getting him out of that state. Yeah, and when he brings out the blade, he'll sort of spin it, like he'll do this little trick, and that gives you a window to grab him. There we go. He's not too difficult, that guy. I always loved the music in this bar bit. Little fun fact: the soundtrack for this game was done by Yuzo Koshiro. He was like a really big Sega composer back in the day, and weirdly, he now does the soundtrack to that show Law and Order. It's a really weird career progression, but you know, he's a really good composer. I encourage anyone to check out his stuff, particularly the soundtrack to Shinobi 3. It's one of my all-time favourite soundtracks, so definitely check that out. See, that slide kick there, they'll only do that if you're standing directly in line with them, and you can manipulate them. As soon as you, in fact, a really good trick, as soon as you get in line with one of those signals, fly kick them, because they will always try and slide kick you whenever they're parallel. And you can just basically jump over the kick and like hit them. And there's that standing flying kick again against Donovan. Like, there's nothing they can do against that. So I think like the early stages are pretty generous with health. I mean, there's a few bits later on that you'll see soon where, man, like big long stretches where there's no health. You just have to try and endure and get through it. It's difficult. I did a little backhand there as well. That's every character has like a backwards attack, and you do that by pressing jump and punch at the same time. It's really good for especially on hard mode and up. You know, hardest, and mania are the top 3 tiers, and they're really difficult later on. And you'll find enemies will be really sneaky. They'll try and skirt around you, behind you, to try and grab you. And that punch there, I was doing there, that's a glitch in the game. You can just like do that continuously until you knock someone out, but you have to get the timing down. It's very rhythmic. You have to be aware of the break, and if you miss a beat, you'll get hit. No questions asked. So you have to make sure you know how to do it. Those Electras, they're the same as the signals actually. If you stand in line with them, they'll try and do a whip attack. You can just jump over it, and it passes right through you, and you can kick them in the face or whatever. So this is the first boss, Barbon. He will try and throw you, as will the signals. So you can actually land on your feet like this. And the way you do that is you hold up and jump, and you will land on your feet every single time. This guy is quite easy. You fight harder versions of Barbon later, but you can get him just by punching him and then follow up with a grand upper. It's pretty simple. Or, you know, if you want, let him throw you, and he'll throw you through his buddies, and you'll hurt them. I love the soundtrack as well. It's fantastic. Really gets the blood pumping. Here we go. Just going to finish him off. And there we go, stage 1 done. Stick around for stage 2, coming up next.